Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope your day is going great. Mine's been awesome so far, and today we have a super juicy video. We're going to be starting it off with Sinatra from the San Francisco Shock. Yesterday, he was playing some ranked Overwatch with Space from the LA Valiant, and they were talking about high school. And Sinatra mentioned there's no need for them to go back to high school because they are currently making millions. So that will be the first topic of today's video. Is Sinatra actually making millions? There's a lot of people talking about this clip, and a lot of people are doubting that he's actually making that much money, and I will give you guys my opinion on how much he could be making. It's definitely a ton, but I don't know if it's exactly a million yet. We're gonna discuss it and break it down in the beginning of the video. Then moving on to the second part of the video, we have another clip from Oversight. This one is very intriguing, and it's pretty scandalous and seems unfair for the expansion teams. So Jay from the Toronto Defiant and Brad from the Atlanta Reign were talking to Monte Cristo about how some of the Season 1 Overwatch League teams were giving under-the-table offers to certain players that were trialing for the expansion teams during the expansion window. So for those of you guys who do not know, there was a specific period during September where only expansion teams were allowed to offer players. Well, it seems like a lot of the expansion teams lost out on a lot of players that ended up going with other teams because they were given offers prior to their actual signing window. Which, to be fair, for the expansion teams is pretty messed up because these players were going through trials with them and they expected to possibly sign them, but then these players were like, I don't want to sign yet. They kept holding off until the actual signing window for every single team opened up, just so they can get better offers that they were promised under the table. So we're going to take a look at that clip and discuss the entire thing. It's pretty scandalous. Then in the last part of the video, guys, we are going to be talking about a fantasy league that I am doing with other YouTube content creators and various people within the community. The main people that are highlighted in this fantasy league is me, Dividing by Zero, and Bad Pachamari. There's also people like Halo of Thoughts, Reagan, who runs the Chengdu Hunters Twitter. We have Swimmer from the Boston Uprising Academy team, Thibbledork, who is a writer for Overwatch, as well as some other guys, and it's pretty competitive. And I'll show you guys every single player I draft, and I'll also give you guys drafting advice for your fantasy leagues if you're doing them. Anyways, that will be the video. If you guys are excited for it, do me a favor, drop a like on it, and also subscribe to my channel for more daily uploads. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Wait, so you dropped out of high school, right?
Whoa, leaks. Yeah, I have to finish senior year. I'm probably just gonna get my GED or whatever.
Yeah, same.
There's like no point in going back to school.
Yeah, well, obviously.
I wanna play obviously.
See the money we're making? Literally
Whoa.
fucking millions.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Real quick, just before we jump into this whole money situation, I do want to point out the fact that there are a lot of Overwatch League players that have dropped out of high school to play in the actual Overwatch. Specifically, last year, the league started in like January, and a lot of the players that were turning 18 were still in high school in their last year as a senior. As you just heard, Sinatra and Space both dropped out to play in the league full time. So I'm guessing a lot of other players dropped out as well. Definitely an interesting statistic. I'd love to figure out more about that. But now let's talk more about the main topic, which is Sinatra saying that him and Space are making millions. Now, for Space specifically, I'm not going to talk about him that much in this video. I might mention him a little bit and cover how much he might be making, but I specifically want to focus on Sinatra because I do think it is somewhat plausible that Sinatra could be making millions right now. So first and foremost, Sinatra is signed by the San Francisco Shock, and we all know it was leaked at the beginning of last year's season that he was making $150,000 per year, and it's definitely possible that that number could have gone up going into season 2 based off various things, but what is 100% known right now is that he banks in $150K off salary alone. Now, I know that's not $1 million, but there is plenty of ways for professional players to make money. Let's start off with the most obvious one. We have Sinatra Stream, which is actually really big. I'm not exactly sure how many subscribers he has, but I know he's reached up to at least 3,000. And Sinatra's definitely been a pretty consistent streamer out of all the players in the Overwatch League, specifically because during the first 4 months of the Overwatch League, he wasn't even allowed to play, so he did spend a lot of time streaming. And then also during the off season over the summer, San Francisco Shock were not in the playoffs, he was streaming a lot there as well. So my guess is for some months he probably had like 2,000 to 3,000, and then maybe in a couple months when he was in the Overwatch League or practicing really hard for the World Cup, he dropped down to around maybe 1,000 subscribers. So to average that out, we'll just say he had around maybe 2,000-ish subscribers per month. And if we do the math on that, he's making $3.50 per subscriber. So you times that by 2, that's $7,000 $200,000 per month just from streaming subscribers. That puts him at basically $85,000 roughly that he's making off subscribers only. That could easily be $100,000, it could easily be $75,000, but I'm gonna guess it's around $85K. So Sinatra's got $150K plus $85K already. That's $235,000 he's making per year. That's just his subscribers and his salary. Now let's talk a little bit about his donations. I've been a subscriber and a moderator in Sinatra's chat for a while. I've watched his stream a lot, and he definitely gets a good amount of donations, especially from them huge donators. Just to name a couple that I remember from his chat, we have a Booty and Numbra TV, who have often donated thousands of dollars, and that doesn't count all the other guys who just randomly donate bits and money. Typically, looking at people's streams, usually the amount of money they make from subscribers is around the amount of money that they make from donations. So we could easily just call it and say that he makes around 75K to 100K worth of donations per year. We'll go ahead and just say that he gets around 90K of donations per year. So add that on top of the 235K that we have already. That puts us at 325K that Sinatra is making so far. Now moving on to the next thing we need to discuss, which also has to do with streaming, and it's often overlooked, especially for someone like Sinatra, who really does abuse this, and you know, I do as well on YouTube. Ads. If you watch Sinatra stream, you'll know that he plays an ad literally in between every single game. And often if he does like a 5 to 6 hour stream, he ends up playing like 20 ads. Now think about it. You guys watch like 3, 4, 5 ads in my videos. He's playing like 20 to 30 ads per stream. And now the good thing about Twitch, which YouTube doesn't really offer, during like holiday times, specifically like Christmas, they offer a 3 times multiplier on playing a certain amount of ads per stream. So if Sinatra plays like 10 ads per stream, he hits a certain multiplier that will allow him to make more money off those ads. So it's like an insane amount of money. He'll literally make more money off of ads just because of these bonuses than he will off his subscribers and donations. I've seen the amount of money that some of these Twitch streamers can make off of ads, and it's literally unreal amounts. It's more than they get off of their donations and more than they get off of their subscribers. And again, for someone like Sinatra who plays so many freaking ads, I guarantee you guys he is clearing easily over $100,000 per year off of ads. I mean, it could even be like 150, 170K. Now, because he doesn't stream every single day, we'll go ahead and play it safe and say he makes around 100K per year off of ads. And add that on top of the 325K that we have, we're already at 425,000. And that pretty much wraps up his streaming. So we're sitting at 425K. You guys might be wondering, well, how else does he make money? That's it, right? No. So he signed with San Francisco Shock, right? And they have a ton of sponsors. They have OPC, they have Nighthawk, and all these sponsors can reach out to Sinatra and have him promote their stuff, and they'll send him a paycheck for it. Then there's also individual sponsorships that players can do, which Sinatra has done in the past, specifically with Ato. I don't know exactly how much money he's making from these specific sponsorships, but there are opportunities out there, and he is definitely getting them. Another one is playing for the Overwatch World Cup Team USA. He gets paid for that by Blizzard for competing in those tournaments and those games, and also from the sponsors. And then lastly, there's things like interviews. Sinatra has been a huge target for interviews. He's done them with NBC and a whole bunch of other people, and these guys will pay a ton of money to get Sinatra as their headline because he is out there and known as the guy who gets paid $150,000 to play video games. So left and right, these guys are paying $5,000, $10,000, $5,000, $8,000 for appearances from Sinatra, and that adds up to another like 50 to 80K per year. I'm not too sure exactly how much it is, but that does put him around the 500K mark. So I wouldn't say Sinatra's making exactly millions right now. It's possible that in the future he could end up making millions, but he could be close to hitting his first $1 million. He's been a professional player for about 2 years now. Of course, it really started to kick up last year when San Francisco Shock signed him, but prior to that, he did have a really successful stream. So I wouldn't doubt it if Sinatra has a lot of money saved up. Well, to be honest, he actually spent a lot of it on clothes and shoes and stuff like that, but still, he's probably got a ton in his bank. It's not millions, but it's well over 500K per year. And there's definitely other little things that I missed out on and didn't include into this video, but he's making a ton of money. That is going to be it for Sinatra though. Let's go ahead and move on now to the second topic of the video, which does have to do with Overwatch League expansion teams kind of getting screwed over by Season 1 Overwatch League teams. Let's go ahead and listen to Jay, Brad, Monte Cristo, and Thorn talk about it from Oversight.
What was interesting is that, so of the original lineup that Bishop envisioned, Envy and Neko was on it. But the O2 Ardent guys were not originally. It was just that where during the trials process and during the scouting process, obviously, many things happen, especially with teams bidding and possibly original teams bidding when they should not be bidding. And that's all I'll say on that. And I will leave it at that.
This guy's got such a weird take on subtlety, doesn't he, Monty? Like his thing is to say it and then just go, but I might not be saying that. So if I
for those people who don't know what he's referring to, because some people might be confused about bidding when they shouldn't be bidding. What he's saying, I'll translate this, is that there was an exclusive signing window for new teams. And this signing window lasted a month in the fall of last year.
Yes.
Where there was a signing window that opened up, and for that month, only expansion teams could sign players.
Yes.
And so this is some spice that is teams that should not have been able to sign players in that signing window may have been making under the table offers.
Well, that's the key thing.
When the signing table ended and when
Yes.
the signing window for the current teams opened up.
Again, just because obviously, like, I'm very concerned, about how people take our words very seriously. I just want to make clear, we're not implying that any team in the Overwatch League who was already an established team made an actual offer that was a real offer that would have been could have held up in court, written or verbal.
Absolutely not. No.
All I'm saying is I'm sure some teams probably said oh, good luck with your free agency. I was thinking actually of building out your room, for maybe next season, whoever's staying there. So whoever was there probably get the balcony room as well. But anyway, that might not be you. So good luck with the free agency. And, the whole point isn't, Monty, anyone can imply things, but the key is just not to say the official thing.
I'm not saying anything happened, but I'm saying something may have happened. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those mysteries.
Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah, it's just a mystery. Yeah. But,
So, okay. That meant you
we
couldn't get some of the players perhaps that you had in your sites?
Yes, and it may have wasted a lot of my time, possibly, because let me just say weeks of my time, and which is great, but we did. You roll with the punches, obviously, as an expansion team. It's just one of those things you do.
So there it is, guys. It seems like Overwatch League Season 1 teams were making under-the-table deals, and I feel like this should not be allowed. I think it should even be punishable, because these expansion teams are coming into the league with absolutely 0 players and 0 experience, while the Season 1 teams, they're sitting there and they have 6, 8, 10 players on their roster. I get that they want to sign new guys and trade for other people, but you should not be able to make these deals under the table, because we saw a lot of really talented players getting signed by these Overwatch League Season 1 teams, and it didn't make sense that they didn't go with the expansion team. Maybe some of the players were smart and they waited to see what the other offers were, but for players like DM who did sign with the Shanghai Dragons for $200,000, that deal was well underway before the signing window opened. So I definitely feel like a lot of the Overwatch League Season 1 teams were partaking in these under-the-table deals, and I feel like it shouldn't have been allowed. It definitely should be punished next season. Let me know what your guys' opinion is on that and also this entire video. That is going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.